Yeah, Weege show here. Last one at a racetrack, and it could be the last ride for this team. And that would not be good. That is the silly season that everyone is tracking, and that's what we're going to talk about here. We've already discussed championship scenarios on this Weege show, which is brought to you by Honda and the all-new CRF 450R for 2021. Those are 2020s in there. I talked to Chase Sexton this morning. He'll be testing a 2021 this week, getting on that thing, but Trey Kennard's been testing it for like 2 months to give the guys some baseline settings. Both he's ridden it Supercross and Motocross. So anyway, check out the 2021 CRF 450R, now available at your Honda dealer, and come see why life's better on a Honda. Put your competition on notice every time you go to the gate with a lighter, more powerful, better handling CRF 450R. So we've figured out the schedule for 2020. We're getting in the 9 races that they hope to do in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, and we sorta already know who the champions might be, with Zach Osborne and Dylan Ferrandis having big points leads. Maybe they don't win the titles, maybe they do, but regardless, we're gonna focus on what comes next. And getting these races in 2020 was such a hot topic for so long, it's hard to believe that it happened, and now we have to think about 2021. I have heard that there could be a Supercross schedule coming within the next few weeks. Never ended a motocross championship not knowing when and where Supercross is going to be. I mean, it's always been simple. Since mid-90s, it's been either Anaheim, they had to go to Los Angeles Coliseum in the late 90s real quick while they were doing some renovations at the Angel Stadium. But essentially you're looking at the first full week after January 1 racing at Angel Stadium, right? Well, California and Supercross, that might not work in 2021, we'll see. So we're waiting on the schedule, and we're waiting to figure out who is going to race where. And that's why I started this show showing you the factory connection Geico Honda truck. I can take the mask off, I'm now out of the pits. That is a pivotal part of the 2021 landscape. Geico is not going to sponsor that team any longer, and they are in a desperate search for a title sponsor. They have 5 professional riders over there right now, and also an amateur in Hunter Yoder, who I was watching out here at Fox Raceway at Pala just a few moments ago. So that could leave some riders without rides and on the free agent market. And what that means is, if you're another 250 team, there's some talent you can go get. And I think that is slowing up the entire works of who is riding for whom and who wants to sign. If you're... Yeah! Oh, it's the Dogger! It's the Dogger! What's up, Wes? Ron Lachine! Look, that's not your bike, right?
I only ride cows.
That's what I was gonna say. Don't ruin it.
Any photos of me on
Don't ruin it.
on a red bike?
Yes. You're just cruising around. It's not your bike. You ripped some laps out here.
I didn't. I'm just out spec team.
But you do, though, right?
Yeah, I'm right out here.
Ron Lachine, still lighting it up. Yeah. That's AMA Hall of Famer Ron Lachine. Kawasaki superstar, okay? We won't even talk about Lachine in his Honda days. Old schoolers might remember. So what was I saying about the current Honda 250 team? So it leaves everyone in the lurch in a couple of ways. If you're the riders on that team, you're hoping they get another sponsor, you're hoping they come back, and then you just stay there. But at the same time, you need to shop around, and then if you're another 250 team, you wait to sign all of your other riders, because I don't think anyone wouldn't want a Jeremy Martin on the team. He's guaranteed to be in title contention every year outdoors, and I know a lot of people are like, well, he's not as good as Supercross, but he's won a lot of Supercross races. He's gonna get you potentially race wins, at least podiums. He could win a Supercross title, right? So if a guy like Jeremy Martin is on the market, I think the other 250 teams are gonna give it a look. If you're a entirely redesigned Red Bull Gas team, why wouldn't Mitch Payton and Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki think about it? Then you got a lot of young talent out. So Joe Shimoda and Carson Mumford were not supposed to be amazing this year. They were just supposed to learn as rookies, right? And they've been okay based on that standard. Shimoda has been a top 10 guy the last couple of rounds. So has Mumford. You can look at their results, and there's been a nice steady climb from the beginning to now. And also Shimoda was 3rd in a 250 Supercross East, which Steve Mathis will tell you was more because other riders got hurt than an amazing performance by him. But regardless, Shimoda's on the trajectory that he should be for a rider at his level. He's not worthless. So what happens to those guys? And as we've seen what happens in the sport, it's just like the broader economy, right? When you have a big problem like we did in 2007, 2008, going into 2009, it's the way the economy always works. The people that get hurt, it's never the top. The Eli Tomac's of the world are gonna be fine. The Cooper Webbs of the world are gonna be fine. Zach Osborne's gonna be fine. The millionaires in the world, you know, outside of motocross, they're fine. the people that always feel the pinch, right, are the middle and the lower class. That's the way the broader economy works, and that's the way the motorcycle economy ends up working. So that's what you got to look at. If you're Jet Lawrence and you've shown tons of potential, you're going to be fine. If you're Jeremy Martin and you've won a bunch of nationals this year and you've won titles before, you're going to be fine. My question is, what is the fallout at the bottom? I'll even go beyond this. Back in the mid-2000s, when I was breaking into this industry, my main job was actually covering the Grand National Cross Country Series, and there was a lot of money to be made in off-road. And what's crazy to me now is the numbers at GNCC as far as the number of participants and spectators. There's Mumford right there. I don't know, is it going to be his last race coming to the semi? Back in the mid-2000s, there was a lot of money and factory rides in GNCC. Today's GNCC numbers are bigger than they were then, but the factories never came all the way back. There are guys at the top that are making good money, like Caleb Russell, but it never ended up having the huge variety of riders on a variety of teams making money like they did back then. So that's always what everyone fears, right? When there's an economic fallout, it's how is it going to affect the middle and the lower class? The rich are going to be fine. I don't think Eli Tomac is worried about. He can get rides the rest of his life for as long as he wants to race, right? So something to keep in mind. I'm in the pit, so I need to put this mask back on. What will be the fallout from one team? What's up, Jeremy Smith? One team with a lot of riders losing a sponsor. If they don't come back, where do those riders go? And how long do the other teams wait to see if those riders are available? And then there's so many others. JGR, they said they hope to be racing again next year. They're feeling good about a potential sponsor. They're feeling good about Suzuki giving them a deal again. But Jeremy Albrecht, the team manager, said, I'm not making any offers until I know that for sure. So where does that leave Alex Martin? Where does that leave Joey Savacci? So there's a lot up in the air, and we don't even know when these deals have to be made. Primarily, deals are made by October 1st in a regular year, and everybody's got 3 months, October, November, December, to get ready for Supercross. We don't know when Supercross is starting. We don't know where these guys are going to be racing. So 2020 still got us. We got most of the races in. We have certainly legit feeling championships, I would say, if Osborne and Ferrandis pull it off, but it still leaves quite a bit of mystery. The next mystery, now that we've got figured out where the races are, where will the next races be and who will be racing where? And that's where you got to get worried about those middle class guys, because they're always the ones that feel the squeeze. You might have even experienced that in your own life when you go through economic dips, right? Motorcycling's no different. That's the Weege Show on a Friday at Fox Raceway, brought to you by Honda and the all-new CRF 450R for 2021. Come see how life is better on a Honda, and come see the Factory Connection Honda team race. Maybe the last time. They've been at this since 1998 with a Mike LaRocco team, and a few vestiges even in 97 with Damon Bradshaw, one of the coolest looking teams ever. That would be bad if it's the end of the road for them, but we don't know if that's true. There's a lot of decisions that still have to be made in these pits before we go racing again next year.